This is a dangerous time in which we live, a time that's written and foretold of in Scripture. It is in Scripture. I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say, if those who lead the people do not know where we are, or America is in particular, in Scripture, then they are unfit to lead the people in this hour. And you can bear witness when you look to those who's supposed to know. Don't they look and sound confused? Don't they? It's as though they don't know up from down, right from wrong. They take that which is improper and try to make it at least appear to be proper. And they take that which is proper and make you and I think there's something wrong with it. So today, brothers and sisters, we need the most valuable possession, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan characterized it. The most valuable possession we can have in this hour is right guidance. And that right guidance, those of us in this mosque and mosques like it around the country and in the world, bear witness that that guidance is in the teaching and the practice thereof of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But the thing of it is, this world does not teach in such a way that we carry into practice that which they say would benefit us if we did. America is perhaps one of the most religious, well, let me say it like this. We as black people are perhaps the most religious people in America. Am I right? But among us, you find more death, more disease. Our communities are in worse condition than any other community in the country. But yet, we are the most religious. Something's wrong with that, don't you think? So it has to be either a disconnect between those who transmit the word to those who do, or a disconnect between those who receive the word and their willingness to practice what we're being taught. Am I right or wrong? There have been wonderful teachers among us, and we have one among us and his students among us. So what I'm suggesting is the time is up for just listening to good preaching. So the Holy Quran, I'll start with the book of James as I get ready to give way to our brother, student minister Anthony Muhammad. In the first chapter of the book of James at verse 22, listen at what it says. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away and at once forgets what he was like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. See, the reason our communities are not blessed is because we are not what? There's a companion scripture that you will find in the Holy Quran in Surah or chapter 61, the ranks. That's interesting, the ranks. At verse 2, it says, O you who believe, why say you that which you do not? It is most hateful in the sight of Allah that you say that which you do not. So in the Nation of Islam, we have a saying. Well, it's not a saying, it's a teaching. It's an axiom, it's a principle that if acted upon, you would benefit greatly. Where we are taught that, have you not learned that your word shall be bond regardless of whom or what? So when we as Muslims, quote unquote, take shahada, when among our Christian family there's a confession of faith, you're giving what? You're giving a word. You're saying that you are now going to strive to live according to the truth that you hear as you receive it. Is that not right? Well, what happens when we go back on the word? In the Christian church, they call it backsliding. Am I right? What happens when you backslide? See, we're more familiar with the Bible. So you keep backsliding until you find yourself in that situation that God allows in our life because of our derelict in giving or fulfilling our word. Then all of a sudden we want to call God. Am I right? Yes, Lord, I know I shouldn't have did that. Is that right? Yes, So, dear family, all I am suggesting to us that we are at a time in the world where it is most important and essential that we carry our word into practice. Because if you pay attention to what's happening and compare it to what you read of scripture and history, there's a period of time that the people are given called grace, when God's servant is present among the people. And as long as that servant is present, God stays off the fullness of his chastisement. And he does what the Quran says. He just seizes that nation and people with distress and affliction, that they may humble themselves to the message.